audible. The fact that there is a concept of environmental impact assessment whenever special economic zones are created in different parts of the country. Now there are cases like Halar Utkarsh Samiti versus state of Gujarat, where it had happened that there was SEZs like creating Oman pipelines did happen in respect of a marine sanctuary, and ultimately it was a question of a challenge whether the marine sanctuary should function or whether this pipeline should function. Now the question is, there are so many different SEZs in the country, and all of them, they are economically strong enough, and state generally gets revenue out of that. So do you think practically this environmental impact assessment actually happens in respect of all of them? I mean, because if it does not happen, there is a threat on the part of the state as such.
So that's a great, I think that's a great question. I believe that today environmental impact assessment is not sufficient. In the climate context, if you ask me, we require a strategic impact assessment. And strategic impact assessment is a combination of social impact and environmental impact. And that's precisely the point that I was driving you to think about. So I think the climate challenge that poses for governance does require us to think quite differently in terms of what rule of law should be in the climate change era. So I think environmental era is gone. So if you ask me, your right to clean and healthy environment, right? That's one of the rights that in the Subhash Kumar was the state of Bihar and MC Mehta was ruling for India. The Supreme Court already gave you the right to clean and healthy environment. The Ranjit Singh case give you the right to be protected against the adverse impact of climate change. Okay. The point is, please note, I believe that right to environment is a third generation right. It's a gone. It's my generation. That's already taken it out. We have experimented a lot of cases, and we know what that right is. Please note, if you are talking of I don't like the word climate justice because it's not easy to define. But if you look at right to climate action, if I can define it in that context, it is the next generation right. It's a fourth generation right. It's the Gen Z right, if I want to call it. And this right would require a different, it requires a different, treatment. And I think EIA is lost its significance. Though it's important, I do agree that it's very important. But unless it's combined with SIA and called a strategic impact assessment, it's not going to be useful at all.